Alright, so yesterday I made a video called The Worst Players in Squid Game where I pretty much just ripped into like half the characters. And I'm not gonna lie, okay, I watched that video back and I was definitely spitting, okay, I'm not denying that. Everything I said was definitely true. But throughout the entire video, I was being pretty negative, okay? I had a lot of bad things to say, even though I actually really enjoyed the show. Like I said in the last video, I had very low expectations for Squid Game Season 2. And that was mainly because the first season was so good it set the bar really high, and on top of that, it's really hard to make a sequel out of a show like Squid Game. Like, let's be totally honest here, player 456 winning the entire thing was the most unrealistic and predictable ending ever. Even though he was kind of a badass in Season 2, people tend to forget that he was a fucking moron in Season 1. However, I must say, they did save the ending by keeping the old dude alive, okay? That saved the entire show. Either way, all I'm trying to say is that making a good sequel to Squid Game is a very, very hard thing to do, and the director, he did it. He made a good sequel, so I gotta give my props. So if I'm gonna make a video talking about the worst players in Squid Game, it's only fair that I make a video talking about the best players in Squid Game. Now, when it comes to how I'm ranking these characters, it's pretty much the ones that aren't fucking boring, okay? In my last video, I talked about a lot of static characters, okay? And for those of you who never took high school English, a static character is a person who doesn't change throughout the plot. They are the exact same person in the beginning of the story than they are in the end, okay? For example, take Min Soo. This kid's an absolute pussy. And even though he had the perfect opportunity to redeem himself as a character and change, he didn't. He was still just a bitch, which completely fucked over his character because, like I said before, if he actually manned up and saved that girl from being killed, he would have been one of the greatest characters in the entire show, but he didn't. Which overall just makes him a pretty boring character in general. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the exact opposite of that. These are the characters who actually rose to the occasion and the ones who I just fuck with the most. So yeah, top 10 best Squid Game characters, let's go. Alright, so first up on the list, we got player 333, the crypto YouTuber. Now listen, okay, I'm not gonna lie, there is kind of a bias because he is a YouTuber in the show, but he still scammed all of his fans off of crypto. He also got that one girl pregnant and ran off on her. Like, this guy is not a good human being. But even though he's a complete scumbag, throughout the entire show, he was getting absolutely bitched by Thanos and his gay husband. And I can't be the only one who was just waiting for this motherfucker to snap. Like, I understand that he's the reason that Thanos lost a shit ton of money, but dude, this guy would just get bullied by him all the time and he would just take it like a good boy. Forget the bullying too, dude. This guy would physically strike him. He would literally beat his ass. So when he finally became a man and actually fought him in the bathroom and then proceeded to goddamn kill him, I gotta say, like, that shit was fire. He is the perfect example of a dynamic character, okay? He went from a bitch to a man, and on top of that, it was satisfying as fuck to see him kill Thanos. And on top of that, there were multiple times in the show where he protected the girl that he ran off on earlier. Not excusing him being a deadbeat father, but you know, he still like tried to protect her, which is still dynamic, you know? He's changing as a person. So yeah, even though the crypto YouTuber guy was a complete scumbag who scammed his fans and is a deadbeat husband, he still fucking redeemed himself. And that is why he is on the list, okay? Player 333, number 1. Alright, so next up on the list, we actually got two players, the mother and son duo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the guy with the glasses was kind of a fucking loser, but the mom was adorable. This chick was awesome. All I remember about this guy was that he was ugly as shit, and he chose to continue the games even though the mom said not to. So, like, fuck this guy, right? But then the mom was absolutely goated in that one game, and she was just so nice and adorable, dude. Like, she was awesome. Now, to be fair, this guy was, like, fucking crying, and I'd act the same way if I got separated from my mom in that death game, too. So I'm not gonna shit on him too hard. He is a pretty good character. But forget the actual characters themselves. The reason why this duo was so fire was because you had to root for them. Like, I do not know a single person who didn't want these two to win, okay? If you didn't watch these two together and not imagine yourself and your own mom in the Squid Game, who the fuck are you? You have no soul. Now, to be fair, they didn't really have that many close calls, but every time they did, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, shit, motherfucker, I want these guys to win. And that's why these two were on the list, okay? Because if one of them ended up dying, entire show ruined, okay? Alright, I'm over-exaggerating, but like, that would have been grim as hell. That would have been sad as fuck. And I'm very, very happy that the directors decided to let them survive. But if I had to make a prediction, I bet you in Season 3, the mom is gonna sacrifice herself to save the son. Like, that has to happen, right? Either way, number 2, the mother-son duo. Alright, so the next person we got on the list actually isn't even a player, it's this guy right here, the Salesman. Now, I'm not gonna lie, okay, there is some bias when it comes to this decision. This guy has been my favorite character in the show ever since Season 1. As a matter of fact, I liked him so much, I was literally him for Halloween. Twice. Now, the main reason that this guy is on the list in general is because, well, he's just cool. I think he's sick. Now don't get me wrong, okay, he's low-key a fucking supervillain. I'm pretty sure he killed his own dad. But in season 1, we didn't really learn too much about this guy, okay? He was just the attractive guy in the suit who plays that card game. But in the beginning of season 2, we learned much more about him, and this guy is a fucking psychopath. But the main reason I'm putting him on this list is because of his commitment, okay? This guy lives for this shit. Like, for example, remember when he bought a bunch of food and lottery tickets and made a bunch of homeless people choose between the two, and then proceeded to stomp out all the leftover food like it owed him money? Why the fuck did he do that? Okay, I understand he did it to prove a point. Like, yeah, even though these people are desperate, they rather choose a lottery ticket over some food. But like, did someone tell him to do that? Was he following orders, or was he just doing it out of love for the game? Then he made those two guys following him play that Russian roulette game, absolute jigsaw shit. Then he played the same game with player 456, proceeded to lose, and actually fucking killed himself. He totally could have just turned the gun and shot player 456, but no, he really went through with it, okay? This is more than just love for the game. This guy is the game. So I gotta put him on this list just out of respect, okay? This guy is low-key a badass. Alright, so next up on the list, we got the Transgender Girl. I don't even know what else to say other than the fact that she's fucking goated. Like, first things first, the character itself was awesome, okay? She got that one crazy bitch to actually lock in during the second game, and then all of a sudden became a fucking Black Ops specialist during the riot at the end. But the main reason I'm putting her on this list is because for the first time ever, they actually got an LGBTQ character correct. Like, although it was very evident that this was a transgender character, it wasn't shoved down our throats. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, when I first saw her on the show, I thought, oh great, another diversity and inclusion character, but nah, she was valid. Not only was she a well-written character who I soon started to root for, but she also does a great job of representing transgender people. For those of you who don't know, the reason that she's even in the games is because she wants to pay for her gender reassignment surgery, and she willingly chooses to stay in the games to make more money to pay for that surgery, which does a great job of showing how important that shit is for transgender people. She was literally willing to die for it, but at the same time, it's not like she was constantly whining throughout the entire show about her fucking vagina hurting. As a matter of fact, there were multiple times where I literally forgot she was even transgender. Now listen, okay, did they add this character simply to just appeal to the LGBTQ audience? Yeah, probably, but that is only an issue when the character sucks, or is annoying, or makes their entire personality being part of the LGBTQ community, which this chick didn't. This chick was fucking awesome. As a matter of fact, she would still be on this list even if she wasn't transgender. So, yeah, the Transgender Girl is going at number 4. Alright, next up on the list, we got player 380. The only reason I'm putting her on this list is because of fucking Minsu's bitch ass. For those of you who don't know, Minsu in the beginning of the show was constantly being bullied and bossed around by Thanos and his boyfriend. And this girl literally took pity on him, said that he wouldn't last long, and tried to protect him for as long as she could. Then Minsu decides to betray her during one of the games, and she almost gets killed because of it. And then later on, she dies because Thanos' boyfriend ends up killing her. And Minsu was watching the entire time, could have saved her, but didn't. So literally just out of respect, I'm putting her on this list. She was done so dirty. I also heard a bunch of people calling her really hot, and I mean, she's pretty, I'm not gonna lie, but like, chill. She's not all that. Alright, so last up on the list, can I get a drum roll, please? Player 001, the goddamn frontman. Now, I'm sure this choice was pretty obvious, okay? You probably all saw that coming, but everything about this character was fucking perfect. All of the psychological games that he plays with player 456, taking his side, making metaphors to the meaning behind the fucking game, it is crazy. And on top of that, this guy was just a fucking badass. Like in the beginning of the season when they first revealed that he's gonna be a player, holy shit, that was hard. And he has fucking hands, okay? He's the only other player who wouldn't take any of Thanos' bullshit and completely piece them up in front of everyone else. Like, you can't tell me that one scene of him just beating his ass was not satisfying. It was great. And the best part about all of it, this guy was hella unpredictable, okay? There were some parts where I was like, hold on, is he actually about to help out player 456? Nope! Nah! He chose to betray him at the exact perfect time, okay? You would think this guy is a good human. Nah, bro, he's still heartless as fuck. And obviously, he was like the center of the entire season. So, yeah, the reason I'm putting him on this list is because he was just really well written, really well acted out, really fucking cool, just everything. I don't know, I just liked him a lot, even though he was technically a bad guy. I also really didn't like player 456, so, yeah, that's why he's number 1. Alright, so I think that is gonna be the video, guys. When it comes to honorable mentions, I don't even know, to be honest. I feel like we covered just about every player in this video and the last. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I basically talk about my least favorite characters, the complete opposite of this video. But I think that is gonna be it, guys. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't, fuck you. If you haven't already, go follow all of my socials and join the fucking links down below. And, yeah, that is gonna be it. Moral of the video, same one as last time. Don't be a pussy. Don't be like Min-Soo. I fucking hate Min-Soo. Absolute worst character. I know I already talked about him like a lot, but still, fuck that guy. Either way, that's gonna be the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you didn't, and I mean if you did, and yeah, peace out, love you all, bye.
Pooh Shicey, that's my dog, but Pooh, you know I'm really